where like your build is determined on what weapon you're currently using, and you can just swap to new weapons. Should probably have looked at the patch notes too, because I know there's a lot of new additions. I don't quite know what all of them are going to be. This game also has some of the best music in any action roguelite. Okay. Yeah, I want to say we're good on everything. I have music turned up to 10 because I just like the music that much. For those who don't know this game, you play as Death, who is the CEO of Death Incorporated. There is too much death happening on Earth. Like literally too much, and we're piling up the paperwork. And Death wants a vacation. So in order to get a vacation, Death has to go to all of his subordinates in the company, and each subordinate is in charge of a different things. There's like a pollution one, a disease one, an addictions one, like all kinds of things based off of death. And you have to fight them to get them to stop killing people so I can have a vacation. Very, very fun concept. There's also mutations, not mutations, these are blueprints. You unlock blueprints over time. Instead of having like a random drop for a blueprint to show up, instead the game tells you all the stuff you have access to, and you can buy them if you want at a high cost, or you can play the game. For example, I had to kill Candace 3 times to reduce the cost of sacrifice. So it's like almost free, or I can pay 75% off to get Vladislav, which I will take. Some of this stuff is like really not far. GMO chicken. Unlock more difficult contracts. I think this is new tech. Increase the maximum of executable contracts to 2. Finish the game twice. Finish the game 3 times. So it's only counting me as finishing the game 1 time, which I think is false, but maybe due to how the early access works. All right. Speak. What? What's the meaning of this? Surprise, Mr. CEO. Whenever you were busied with your sorrel's business, I took great care of your agenda. So this is my pleasure to inform you that Mrs. Mallory of Reverenced just got back to work. Mallory? Oh yes, Mallory of Blasted. In my opinion, this is sort of evolving painting series. That's a bit disturbing at first glance. But you've certainly noticed the sculptural depth in opposition with the scribbled post-it note. Fascinating. Yeah, so I think there's supposed to be art here, but right now the current art is just a post-it note. Crisis 1, a scheme where sorrows are more dangerous than usual. So they added, I think, boss cells essentially to the game, and it seems to be based off of a painting. So right now we have boss cell 1, I believe. And did she give some precisions, Mallory, on her work? Oh yes, Mr. CEO. She decided to work on him suffering at work. Seems your imminent burnout is inspiring for her. The harsher it'll be, the more her work will be epic and satisfying, related to your efforts. That's the Crisis series. Oh, you know Mallory very well, Mr. CEO. The old story with the artist. Yeah, so she sees you suffering in combat, and it's like a great epic story to her, so she's building more suffering. for you to compete with. This is also new. You can choose a contract before you go in. So I can get take it or leave it. Again, I don't really know what the stuff on the left-hand side is. I kind of asked if we could get a glossary. So we can get this. There's good deal, which I think is bonus mana, but I take 10 damage. Or I can get a prism now if I can defeat, well, maybe I get it now. If I defeat a sorrow without getting hit, I won't lose $25. So we'll take the bonus mana. Lock it in. All right, we should be good. Again, like I said, I do think I'm pretty decent at the game. Just to say that. I did change my button scheme around to make sure that I do, you know, competitive. Is it me, or am I only sweating through my fingertips? What a horrid sensation. That's kind of gross. Stop interrupting and listen to the whole explanation. It's utterly hopeless. Nothing. It's impossible for me to take anything you're saying seriously, Mr. Techie. You're claiming that animas are well engineered enough to heal and all that, but that's not all. Wait for it. You can also use them to reveal hidden rooms? Get your head out of the poultice? Wow, so animas are a healing flask. And they're saying that you can actually find secrets by using an anima. I've never seen that before. I've never seen a secret room in this game before. Sorry, 1 second, everybody. I want to make sure that Buster is nice and situated. Buster, what are you doing? That's what the locks were? Yeah, we only saw that one time, and I had nothing to do with it. Or at least so I thought. I had nothing I could do with it. Alright. So he goes over to me like he wants attention, but then he just leaves. It's messed up. Okay, I gotta turn the sound back up. It's like super quiet. Okay. Again, like I said, I kind of put the buttons to be the same as my Dead Cells setup. So I like to believe that I should be fine. I don't need any tutorial or anything. They actually added a new biome too. All right, so Solary Prism Department. That's where we can get money, but I'll probably go Vault first. Come on, go. Because I do like getting new equipment instead of just money. Ooh, I have a timer on the screen too. The timer's gone though. 1 minute, 50 seconds. Is that how long I've been going for? Ooh, this is new map generation. It's funny that I said I feel like I'm pretty good at the game. I'm getting destroyed by just these things. All right, what do we got? All right, that's money. $3. Pretty good. Oh, my anima. All right, we're in the bad path. This is the pleb path. But this is actually really cool because the game didn't have a ton of routing to it. Everything was mostly a straight line, so I'm happy to see that they added a little bit of map variety. It is kind of a good idea. Wait, what? Oh my god, I forgot the buttons. I was gonna say it's a good idea to kill stuff, because they might have money, they might have health. Alright, we got a prism. I wonder if her head being yellow signified that she has items. Alright. Manager. L clean? I think this person's new? I'll use the health pot. I was hoping to save one for when I see a lock. Okay, her head must be yellowed as normal. Janitor from the last update? I didn't get to play the janitor then. I must have only gotten Will hung. Ooh. It's got some moves. Okay. I might actually die. I'm actually dead. I took way too much damage in the beginning. Only because I forgot how to do my super. Nice little warm-up. We don't need a tutorial, I swear. Janitor looks pretty good. That's a mini boss. That's not like an actual concierge. Wait, there's like a new little song when you load in. Alright. Get back in there. We still have Crisis 1 on. You've got some plaster dust left on you, boss. On your shoulder, teehee. A full 10. Just wait and see. Do you know what Leon Clean does in his spare time? Imagine him playing the little knight, riding on his vacuum cleaner. It's ridiculous. That's what we just died to. Thank you, Jocelyn. That's why I thought I'll regret learning more. Plus 5 health. Plus 20 health. Defeat the second Thanager in under 10 minutes. They want me to speed run. Or we can get $50. This is fine. When do I take the damage? If it's like you take 20 damage because you didn't meet the deadline, I feel like that's not that bad. Hello, Buster. Yeah, of course, I do still want to kill whenever possible. Of course, I jumped right into that. I don't know what my, like, average win time would be. Oh, we gotta go to OSHA. What do you want? He's literally just staring at me. Alright, speed run. But the movement in this game is so nice, in my opinion. There's also held attacks. Ooh, Feral Fist. Applies deflation? I wonder what deflation is. Alright. I don't know what you're planning. I don't know what you're planning. Let's go over to the actual item. Applies deflation. Damage range varies from minus 50% to plus 50%. It can actually do less damage. Okay. Ooh, they changed the art of this. So these were basically black and white. This looks a lot better. Alternate weapons. Your cloak deals +5. Yeah, so this is my fist I just got. Sorrows grant a pure heal of 20 HP when you kill them. So that's bosses. Your Weasley associates, your worst opponents. Daredevil, survive a fatal attack with 1 HP. That's our YOLO. We'll do the +5. So yeah, those are called curses. That's basically the mutations of sorts, relics, whatever you want to call it in this game. So whenever you hear the word curse, you have to remember that that's what they're talking about. Ooh, the aerial punch is different. Oh! Holy smokes! Similar to Dead Cells, your LT has a cooldown to it. So I can't just spam the slap. Okay, rematch. Now we got the slap. I don't think we lose anymore. There's no way. Boom! Really, I should save it for bigger stuff instead of these. Okay, here we go. Oh my god. Oh, that's some... Wait, he does so much. So it does tell you that that kind of stuff is coming for you, which is nice. Boom! Got a heal out of it. Alright, so now, as I said, there's actually a tree here. So the more that you unlock certain curses, which are mutations or relics, whatever you want to call it, you're going up a tree. So the green tree has penalties early on, red tree has 1 penalty at the start, and then blue tree has no penalties from the look of it. So we could get this, which is my regular attack deals +1, but we get a curse, a penalty, we don't know what it is. Periodically create an anima, that's kinda sick. I just periodically get a health pot. Is there timing to that? You feel like mana is useless if cooldowns exist? There's 2 different kinds of abilities. There's ones that cost mana, which are spells, and there's ones that have a cooldown, which are what they call the cloak. So right now, the fist is a cloak, and if I find something that costs mana, I'll let you know, but I don't have anything just yet. Relaxation area, I think you heal here. But since we're on a 10-minute timer, I think I should do this if it's a biome skip. Ooh. Actually, let's read the handbook. Dang, can't go upward? Oh, it's because... Hang on. Enemies? I always like to read these too. So we just got Leon Clean, Janitorial Thanager. The spook known to the company under the name of Leon Clean is said to have lived a full life during his time in the mortal world. In fact, the neurotic minions in the Hall of Eternity have even admitted, through grit teeth, that Leon led an exceptionally fruitful life, which led to his somewhat premature arrival in the company. Leon is so strong and vigorous, despite his total lack of life force, that he leaves the tile shining brighter than ever. Apparently, he was a legend on Earth, a man with a flawless, shiny, bald head who would overcome even the most severe grime with a little bit of elbow grease and a winning attitude. Not bad. Yes, well, hello to you too, Cloud. Him. Listen, please accept my humblest apologies. I didn't know the tutorial process had been changed. That was degrading for you. Indeed. He wore a body. Haha, yes, well said. It's all to your credit to take it that way. Yeah, some of the things aren't actually humans. It's like, it's the ball. So that's an employee, right? Cloud, compatible auxiliary. Cloud Iscot. Wait, it's French. I can't read this. Devs, help. All right, nice. We'll do more equipment. When did this game get released? This is early access. I think it hit early access in March. And now they're on update, I don't know. It's definitely not 1.0. Boom! Yeah, everyone gets one of those. Oops. Alright. Cloak Swish applies an effect while launching a cloak attack. So this is actually new tech. I've never seen this before. Each steal grants you a pure heal. Magic steal containing combat equipment. So that's like a chest will give you healing. Killing a boss grants you plus 40% mana regen. Which is interesting, but looks like the game wants us to use cloaks. So this is the other really cool thing about the game, is that the actual penalties, you get to choose them. So I can choose between Petrels, which are on the next map, gain plus 10 damage, or Spooksmen, which are on this map, get plus 50 HP. So I'm gonna take this, even though now I don't one-shot them, and hope it's not a misplay. I need more damage on my cloak. Not my cloak, my scythe. Sacrifice. A type of demonic leech that slowly sucks away your life. Applies unstable healing. Heals HP, but inflicts injury over time. Interesting. So injury is the gray health. Ooh, I still one-shot it. It's pretty good. Oh, and I saw the missile coming from my cloak. Bruta Hammer. This is another cloak attack. Ooh, I can recycle now? I don't think so. I'm gonna try to keep sacrifice for a little bit. This is common. So maybe we don't need that just yet. I don't know if that did anything. All right, 5 minutes on the timer. That's pretty good. The goal was to beat 10. Ooh, we can sell. So that's like a backpack? I could put it in my backpack stock to sell later. Look on the left. There you go, the trade source. Pretty nice, eh? All right, so this is where we can buy stuff. I could buy a sea sword. I think we'll keep the punch. Oops. All right. Boss time. We have 4 minutes to kill the boss. just Brad. Brad known is one of the hardest bosses in all of Have a Nice Death. Ooh. Must be a nightmare full of lunatics who want to convince me it's normal. I'm trying to smash a record number of hits here. So if you're gonna skulk about, go do it in your office. So it's doing like paddleball. It's a slacker. Boom! Please, I'm on a timer here. I can't be stalling like this. Ooh, charge attack does a lot more damage than I remember. I'm missing too many of these. Oh my god, alright. Okay, that's fine. I'll take that hit. Corporate Mundos. A good way to put it. I was just kidding, boss. You're always welcome here. Glad to hear it. Always like this part. Like, it makes Brad look so cool. Alright. They changed how max HP looks. Really cool. Scythe deals 20% more. That's our basic attack. Sure. Predictable. Have an awful day, sir. It's messed up. Alright, so there is supposed to be a new biome too. If I was told correctly, the new biome is time-based, so I don't know if we meet the timer or not. What we got here? Aid a zombie, plus 10 damage for 10 minutes. Provides an anima in exchange for money. Or you can deposit an anima and maybe get a surprise. I'll try it one time. Should take my blue? Yeah. Nice. Got a couple bucks out of it. Super important. I need to get it out. I'm taking a 30-second break. There, I said it. Yeah, so I thought this was the additional biome right here. But looks like I don't have it. Oh no, we do have it. Toxic food processing department. Try to be faster? Faster than 7 minutes? It's locked. Okay. So I thought we were making good time, but apparently we gotta go even faster than 7. That's alright, we'll do that on the next playthrough. It's an interesting way to do a biome choice. I'm gonna try this. This heals me. I got all my health back. I don't really know how the vamp thing works. I guess if I have too much lost HP, we want to spam it. I love the sounds these make. Okay, see, this is a spell. So this actually uses mana. Just like that. And that's our mana regen. We don't get it back instantly, but you know, it's not too bad. And like you can try to build around that. Where like I get mana on kill. Or on like bleed you get additional mana regen or something like that. I need to spend money. So it's really cool ideas. I like the systems that they have, to be perfectly honest. Being able to set the penalties based on my own decisions kind of nice. Doing a speed run to get to fast food department. I gotta see what the timer is, because that seems like it'd be kind of tough. Sight damage. Cloak Swish launches a bomb, which I think I'm gonna take that, even though it has a new penalty. Cloak cooldown reduced. That's kinda nice. Maybe better overall. Okay. It's like the goal is that you never have to do basic attacks. Like you only hit everything you see with the cloak attack. Thank you for not making me pick that up. Flotation. That's the lariat from Street Fighter 6. I gotta heal. We're like, yeah, we just got another health pot too. Have I tried Tiny Folks or Mini Healer? Mini Healer did look really cool. Though I did play a game similar to it called Looking for Heals. But, and where did we see Mini Healer? Was McHugh playing that? I think he may have been, but it did look a lot of fun. Tiny Folks, I know, is sort of like a Darkest Dungeon. It's probably cool. Oh, this is updated art. Really like how this looks. Yeah, I might be shying away from Tiny Folks, but I wouldn't mind trying something like Mini Healer. But that game's a little older now, right? Mini Healer? Did that come out this year or last year? Okay, so we are going to upgrade. I don't know if I'm doing any upgrades, to be honest. We'll take bonus damage on this, but because of deflation, there's a chance that it does 0 damage. Well, not 0, but not a lot. Wait. It can get double deflation? Damage ranges from -75 to +75. What? Increases healing by 15, decreases duration by 10. That's kind of cool. I just want double weapons, I think. So I guess Sacrifice is not very bad. It allows us to use it on a boss if we run out of health pots. Let's see what Hazardous Floor is. Came out in 2020, so it's a pretty old game. Looking for Heals is older than that, though. I like those kind of games. Pretend MMO simulator. I kind of wish there were more games like that, but maybe they don't do like super well. That was definitely bonus damage just then. Boom! Yo, it actually walked into the clapback. That does kind of reach behind me, but not totally. Yo, this is the clapback build. A bunch of bonus health, too. +1 to Mini Healer, super fun game. More so if you enjoy healing in MMOs. I do. But of course, when it comes to MMOs, as a healer, if you enjoy it, you get to sit back and like watch how other people play the game. And that's honestly my favorite part about MMOs, is watching other people for some reason. Like almost more so than me doing my own job. I'd rather look at what everyone else is doing. And good to see you, Hyper Stifer. Boom! Get clapped. Interesting. I wonder why my L2 came out. I mean, my R2 came out, but I definitely pressed L2. Ow. Yeah, these things are super annoying. That's why I didn't give them the curse. Increases their damage that they deal. Oh, here we go. Actually, let's go forward a little bit, then come back. In case I take a hit. It's... oh god. Okay, so it's this one. Under the 3rd level. I think I can go back? I don't know if I've seen this boss. No double jump in this game, by the way. Oh! Not worth. This thing's kind of cool. Boom! Yo, is this Cuphead? Contract approved. Contract terminated. Is that what I needed? I don't know if the game has a good way to show you. Yeah, contracts. Defeat the 2nd Thanager in under 10 minutes. I'm at 14 minutes? How in the world did that happen? Crap, I just wasted that. Retaliate. Heal injury by a % of damage dealt. Cloak deals more damage. We like that. Control room is now locked. Splurties. Projectiles will split on contact. I can't lock the upgrade level. Alright. World first. World premiere. I've never seen a secret in this game before. Okay, like 20 bucks for a health pot that we kind of just use for free. That's not terrible. And I may have gotten a health flask back for it. Alright. Give me a big cloak upgrade. Yeah, I really like games like this. Anyone who wants to try to move the needle in this genre, I'll take it. Need to ask Orby, is there any chance he might have muddled up the numbers of the employees, of the company's employees? I mean, some cool text, a bit odd, but in a good way. Love you, babe, signed B. I don't get it. Who do you think it is? It must surely be mixed up. That's sad. 15 max HP. And we should be good. Save my money for more upgrades. As I said, this game is not out yet. This is early access. They just did this update on Thursday. There's supposed to be some new abilities too that I don't have yet. You! Forest fires, gas leaks. That's all great. Death everywhere. So what are you sniveling about now? What do you want? I'll giving you a demonstration, Gordon. You'll see. Again, like, there's too much death. We want a vacation. Ooh, flotation? Okay, can't just walk into that. I've never actually used the vampirism before in this game. People say it's busted though. And it did definitely give me all my health back. Get clapped. That's a good boss right there. And again, this is on 1 BC. Well, do you still call that sniveling now? Well, let's just say, I understand the criticism. We'll change all that. That's what I want. Perfect. I am so tanky right now. Look at all these upgrades. So again, this is based off of this tree. So because we've done so much in red, like there's a bunch of branching paths here. So I can take a branching path. Scythe deals more damage, we don't care about that. Deal +1 damage for each attack, resets after a while, or if you take damage. Gain plus 5% chance of dealing pierce. Pierce is plus 15 bonus damage. 5% is not very much for the build I have. We're just gonna get tankier. What do you think your favorite and least favorite thing is about this game? You're debating on picking it up. So again, this is early access, so it's not 100% all content out yet. They have done a lot of improvements. My initial complaint about the game was around the healing, where it was really difficult to heal yourself. It's basically RNG reliant to find a health potion. Now, it almost seems like it's overkill on healing, which again, it's probably a me issue. But I have full health flasks. So full, I'm actually going to spend one to maybe get money. Oh, I can't. I guess I can only do blue health pots and not yellow ones. It's really very kind of you to help me write all these cards. Don't mention it, Patty. I'm enjoying doing it. Tell me though, why isn't Mr. Grimes on your list? Does he like Christmas? I'm avoiding him. Ever since 1963 incident, it's better to keep Mr. Grimes and the Major apart. If you prefer to keep your shirt clean, that is. Ah, don't worry about that sort of thing. I only wear t-shirts, they're more comfortable. I'd say my favorite part of the game is the aesthetic and the actual gameplay itself. I think it's super smooth. Physical illness department. Upgrade red curses. Physical illness department. Is that the crab? Yeah. But it looks like I could have gone to the other biome instead, which was the biome after this. So did they make it an alti biome? So yeah, the game is still very much a work in progress. Like when you look at it though, this looks like it could be a completed game, right? But it's not, and I guess that's also an attest to like the quality. What's my #1 complaint about the game right now? I would say that it might be a little too easy, but they did just add what we would call boss cells. So perhaps like that easiness is over at this point. I'm just gonna punch this thing. I hate these. Get that crap out of here. Get clapped. So depending on like how difficult their heat system, ascension system, whatever you want to call it, gets. That's really gonna be the determining factor. Yeah, it used my button. But I didn't want it to. Interesting. And it's kind of how a lot of these, what I would call like a Cells-like, works. Things like Astral Ascent. Like, to me, the game lives and dies on what you do after you beat the game. After your first victory, what can I do? And I think this update, they're trying to solve that question. Missed the clap. Get the lariat though. Okay, the lariat's actually kind of decent. Stendo power. I wouldn't be surprised. Do they have a reference to that? So this is Feral Fist. These muscular arms whose scaly skin glows with an odd black slime, yuck, could belong to Death. Don't be surprised if you bumped into Death Inc. CEO in the gym, because he's a real gym rat, but they don't. They used to be the pride and joy of Rolls, a creature who doesn't come from the surface. Alright, maybe not, maybe not. Unless Rolls is a JoJo character. I'll say, please die. We just had a reference earlier to Mr. Clean. Definitely OSHA. So this is really cool if this whole biome will increase my red stats. Like, I like the systems that they have in place. Honestly, a lot of the roguelite space right now for me is Have a Nice Death and Astral Ascent waiting room. Ooh! Just waiting on their content updates. I don't know if anyone else out there... Well, I guess we just got Little Noah, too. Which, that was honestly a lot of fun to play. That's very anime. Let's go up. I'm sure there's other games out there that will get in the queue at some point. Missed the lariat. Oh my god. Boom! David, that hydration hells. I'm gonna get a drink in just a moment. Oh wow. Took a lot of hits just then. Wait, there's like a... Oh no, that's the exit. I was gonna say there's a whole area to the left of me. Deal +1 damage after every attack. Inflict criticals on stunned enemies. Deal 30% bonus damage. Take 50% more. That's scary. Even more HP. Dash cooldown reduced. That's actually kind of nice. Let's try that. Okay, let me grab that drink real quick. It's gonna be just 2 minutes, everyone, and then I will be right back. All right. Thank you for the double hydration, by the way. Is the enemy density a bit low? So again, we're playing on what's essentially 1 BC right now. Do I need to do that damager? Maybe I don't. Enemy density, so the 1 BC is harder bosses. We may get in higher BCs standard monster density up, but you also increase the difficulty of these monsters on leveling up your own character, like in the run. So what that is, where's our penalties? I feel like the game doesn't do a super great job with the UI to like show you what is going on currently in the game. Yeah, so it's this. So right now we have Spooksmen have 50% bonus HP, and then Splurties fire more projectiles. But you could end up with a penalty where it's like other enemies have bonus HP. Other enemies split into 2 enemies after they do a certain thing. So that's one cool thing about this. But someone did ask me like my thoughts of the game, and I would say difficulty is a concern for me, but they only just added in this update boss cells. Music, thank you, thank you. I actually just heard it as soon as you typed it. I was like, wait, I don't remember the music being like this in this game. You've never heard of this game? It's actually one to look out for, in my opinion. And I say that as someone who plays action roguelikes. Ooh. Should I say for a living? I don't, because I still have my day job. There we go. But yeah, I play these games all the time, and I feel like this is a quality version in that genre. Like, I almost wish there are a few more of these. So for example, you can make like a YouTube vid. These are the #1 sales likes, I guess. Action roguelikes for you to keep a lookout for. And Have Night's Death is definitely on that list. Skull is on that list. Astral Ascent is on that list. Trying to think of what else we've played that's very promising. I like to think 30XX is on that list too, but it's a very different style of game. I'm gonna try equipment storage. It's not that I don't like the clapback. Cat here. Got it. But I feel like we could be doing something a little better. Skull is your favorite of the genre right now? I can see that. Like, they're doing really well, especially off that last update. Oh my god, I just tanked the explosion. I'm getting hit for no reason. Luckily we have vampirism. Oh, this is common. My kingdom for a rare weapon. Oh my god, as soon as I use the health pot. See, it's like no sense in me actually doing primary attacks. I should just go around clapping everything. It's just the cooldown, even though we have 30% cooldown reduction. It's still too long. But yeah, I do like Skull a lot. Spitfire. Don't you dare say Pit Book use Spitfire. It won't go down very well. This is a spell. So we can't take that. Though I think it's worth more than this. I got insight for it? I don't think it was a new weapon. It probably took me straight to it. I got off of it. Alright, Spitfire. Pit Book is a magical book similar to flying books. They might all share the same ferocity at heart, but unscrupulous opuscules, like Pit Book, I have no idea what that is, are a little more solo about it. They have vast memories, and anyone who manages to tame one is sure to keep track of all their affairs for the rest of time. Perhaps, possibly even longer in Death's case. This is not the book's only power, though. Cool. It's kind of nice. It's almost like a Dark Souls where every item and everything, every NPC has lore to it. Do some hazardous floor. Assuming I don't need more max health. It could give me mana too, so that's also why we don't go fight the mana. Yo, Nespa, good to see you, if I didn't say hi to you earlier. If we could get, like, more of those things, more left hooks, I think we'd be in good shape. I don't remember what mutations give you bonus. I think it's Fury Gauge is what they call it in this game. Sick dodge. See, like, that's mana. I have nothing I can do with that. At this point, I believe the game is trolling me by giving me mana stuff. It's so nice. Alright, what do we got? Deal and take additional damage. The Fury deals 50% more, which is really good. Chance of dealing 200% damage on my cloak. I also have a... Oh, I can't reroll these. It's a penalty reroll I have. Alright, natural 20. Oh, I can nullify one of these. So... I think this is a nullify. I can't do Jacob is laid off. I didn't notice they had names to them. That might be new? I mean, laying off Jacob is very new. How much does this hit? Oh, I hit the one above me too. Oh, snap. Lariat's actually really good. Look at the sh-movement. V, why can you also play this game? I told you, the goal is to be like how people do with fighting games, where for some reason, you can play every single fighting game almost equally well. Marvel vs. Capcom, Street Fighter 6, Killer Instinct, Injustice. Doesn't matter. Ooh, you lived? Just backtracking a little bit. Boom! I saw another streamer play this recently. It's so pretty. Big, same. Honestly, like, if you look at this, this looks like a completed game. Like, you would never believe this is early access. And there's other early access titles out there. Not to be toxic, I'm just saying. 439. People good at NetherRealm Studio games who are good at other fighting games besides Sonic Fox. I mean, I guess in that sense, you could say, because Sonic Fox would be like the premier player in that case. We go here. So it's like, is anyone another Sonic Fox out there? Maybe the answer is no. But they're not the only person going to those tournaments, right? There's gotta be a top 8. So all of those people in top 8 are like what we aspire to be. Or at least content creators, people who can play a NetherRealm Studio game, do all fatalities, all babalities, and then also showcase best supers and Dungeon Fighter Duel. Did I play Dungreed? No, and I didn't buy it when it was on sale. And I'm actually kind of upset about that. I feel like this is gonna suck for me. So we have double deflation now, which I really didn't want to fully upgrade this, but we're kind of in a bad scenario right now. I think I have to level up my scythe. Can be used to infiltrate your employers and dismember those who talk about you behind your back. Adds long range. I think this is fine. It's just an upgrade. The only reason you wouldn't do it is if you want to spend the Prismium on your other item. Applies death and dismemberment. Double the blades for double the pogs. Or sickles. Multiple attacks. This is good if you have infusion. I'll try Twinsy. And then we're so late in the game, I think I might have to actually finish this thing off, even though I don't want to. Oh my god, has a chance to deal 0 damage. Or double damage. That actually might be a throw. Alright, so we just saw Twinsy. If you ask Death what his favorite movie is, he'll immediately bemoan the fact that he doesn't have time to go to movies with all the work he has to do, and we can believe it too. Nevertheless, there are some little hints as to Death Inc.'s CEO's taste in movies, and Twinsy is one of them. What movie would this thing reference? Like a two-sided scythe? I don't know what it could have been. Is that the Avengers? Is that supposed to be Thanos? Then I want to read Sacrifix. You hate coin flip weapons? It says between, so I'm hoping that we won't ever see 0%, and we will see 100% multiple times. One of the rare spells that Death didn't come up with himself. Very sporadically at Death Inc., certified inspectors from the Dreadzery, colleagues of Mr. OSHA, managed to show up at the worst possible moment, according to Gordon Grimes. As soon as department records are suddenly peak in souls, which then results in extraordinary distribution of soulry at the company, the Dreadzery appears as if from nowhere to check it out. So when there's a lot of cash flow being generated, suddenly these people show up. Took me a little while to get to the next biome. A new Barbie movie for sure, where they're harvesting souls. And you as Death have to go and kill them because they're harvesting too many souls. I want to go on vacation. You! It looks like you're going to penalize me for making the staff work overtime, huh? Are we in Cloud Cuckoo Land? Since you're already in the loop, this next bit should go quickly. Yeah, since we've already beaten the game, like, they know why I'm here. I'm here to stop them from making us do so much work. Oh my god. Get the iframes here. Oh, that's not the clapback. So you can see I clearly forgot the buttons. No contact damage in this game, which is really nice. But I gotta say, the vampirism might be kind of busted. It's just a... Did I do 0 damage just then? I think it's literally a on-demand heal. And the only cost is it costs gray health. In fact, I should be using a build with Retaliate right now. Ooh. Maybe it is supposed to be a Thanos. I saw some behind the back, over the head, like double spin kind of deals. Counterproductive to cancel all overtime, boss. No, end of discussion. All right, more HP. Yeah, if I see Retaliate, I'm definitely taking it. Sight deals 10% crit. Inflict critical on stunned enemies. We gotta reroll something here. So like I said, this is a tree. So you can like go into the tree. This is the stun thing. We want to reroll the additional damage taken. Retaliate. Gain lifesteal for 2 seconds. That's almost perfect. So now whenever we get hit, we can lifesteal some of that HP back, but then I also have a heal button, which I could probably get rid of at this point, but it's like, why not walk around with a free heal? It's fine if I blur a bit here. It's fine if I blur a bit. He's bound to be standing in front of some underwater burger bar. Yeah, so Crank totally naked underwater in front of a restaurant with a... What is he talking about? Do you want to see my latest photo collage, Chief? Guaranteed collector's item, so keep quiet. Like just going through a bunch of photos that they took? Dang. I was gonna say, I think we're in the last area. So I should use the food in the fridge. Good thing your burnout isn't contagious. It can be though. Alright, Modern Warfare 2. Upgrade red curses. I feel like I don't know if my current red curses were upgraded. I feel like the answer is no. But it must just be that red curses on this map are better than normal. Oh my god. I think this is a new enemy. I don't know if I fought this before. Still gets clapped? Ooh, the up attack with twinsies is so nice. So this thing I have seen. This thing's like a tank. And these fire homing missiles. Alright, a little bit of overkill on the little girl. Nice. You got the moves. I love the sirens on this map. Yeah, whoever the sound designer is needs a raise ASAP. Wait, how in the world did I not kill that thing? 1,000 damage? Wonder if that was the double. Okay. Still a really big area back there. I wish they could add more weapon upgrades later. Do you mean like later in the biome I should be able to do an upgrade? I think we will see one more chance to upgrade my weapon. Wait. I was about to say, is this rocket science? Okay. And I think it's RNG too. I don't know if the weapon upgrade shows up every single biome, or if you might miss it based on your choices. I have 197, but I think you can't skip OSHA. You mean like new ones? It would be kind of cool if they added sort of like an augment system where your current weapon, I don't think any roguelike really has that. Like there's some that have something a little similar. Hades is an example where like you could get the hammer and you choose what the augment is. Like this is close but not quite due to the curse system, where you go into that tree and you might have added cloak attacks deal bonus of some sort. Nice miss. Dang, I should have waited. Get clapped. Yeah, the fact that I periodically get health flasks, that seems kind of strong, not gonna lie. What we got? Cash. I think there's one more shop. I know I passed one just now, but I'm hoping and praying they give me one more chance. Yeah, trying to watch for the secrets too. All right. Infuse lifesteal. Every time we attack, we can heal. Kind of redundant. This came up again. So I think all of these are locked in. And I won't actually see new stuff until I take something. Let's take the scythe crit. Shop prices up. Shop prices increase by 15% until the end of the level. Sure? I take the not as bad one, right? Oh my god, tiger uppercut? Thank you, game. Be funny if we actually never see another shop anyway. Sea Flage. This is a mini boss they added in the last update. But I think I just one-tapped her because the build I had got ridiculous. So ridiculous it got nerfed in this update. Which is basically infuse on mosquitoes. Which is probably still strong to some degree, but not as strong. Boom! I did 24 damage! That's the deflation. I knew it was gonna be bad at some point, but as long as that doesn't happen on the boss, we're fine. So I'll say nice bomb. Ooh, that canceled my clap for taking damage. I didn't quite know that's how it worked. Freaking 24 damage. Are you kidding me? I spent so much to do 24 damage. Is that the wake up DP coming from whatever that monster was? I think my only other complaint about the game is that a lot of the biomes have these branching paths where you can go either left or right. And like back in the day, there were no secret rooms in the game at all. So like, you just want to get to the exit as soon as possible if you're full HP and full health flask. There's literally no reason to walk through the rest of the biome if you have like the full kit. I do kind of feel like that's still a little bit there besides the secrets. Ringu? Sadako. Oh my god, Sadako. Oh my god. Luckily I have like all this lifesteal. Shoot, maybe not as much lifesteal as I thought. They buffed her. People complained that Sadako was like not ever getting her attacks off because she was too passive. But they definitely buffed her a little bit there, which is cool. I like to see that. Dang, I should have used the heal first. Boom! We'll get our health back. Just like that. Alright. Your scythe deals more damage, cloak deals less. That's bad. Cloak cooldown reduction even more. Wow. So we're at like 50% cooldown reduction. It's pretty noticeable, I say. Not quite every platform I can do it, but a pretty decent amount. Curse reroll? Sure. We do have to run through another one and try to speed run so we can make it to the fast food department. Like I said, 7 minutes seemed pretty fast. I think it's different than Dead Cells, because in Dead Cells you have a timed door. But the timed door doesn't give you a brand new biome. It's just more rewards. Oh crap, that hurt. So while I do like the call back to the speedrun community, oh my god, what a troll upgrade. I think even my ulti does reduced damage. Alright. At least I can still take out small fry. That's always satisfying. Killing all those birds. 197 damage. Oh, this is the speed we needed earlier. I love the art too, like the background there looks fantastic. We'll do one Vitamana. So like going to equipment storage, I guess, is not super great because I can't replace anything. It's all fully upgraded. So I may as well just try to get more HP. Art super cute. The devs described it as Tim Burton-esque. Like that was their major, oh my god, inspiration. Hopefully you all can see it. Damage number has aged a little bit. I'm not upset because I did it myself. Oh, that's a counterattack it does. Wow. Boom. Tim Burton wishes his stuff looked like this. Jeez. Oh, crap. So I guess these have to die. I messed up, chat. I didn't know that there's a chance that you deal 0% damage. I didn't know it was this high of a chance. Oops. Wow, I did like 500 to one plane and 50 to the other plane. It's kind of sick. All right. Crits on stun enemies, bonus damage for a little while, resets after taking a hit. So I would have liked something a little better than this, but I actually think I'm gonna take it because we're going up to the boss anyway. I could maybe re-roll this just to see what it gives me. Yeah, didn't think so. The map is no longer accessible. Shop price is up. I think I'm at the end of the game. I don't think it's gonna let me buy anything, really. I'm not clapping. B is supposed to clap back. Oh my god. I knew it. I knew this game was gonna give me max mana if I choose one of these biomes. Alright, that's fine. Major Plixon. So this is the current final boss of the game. We don't believe it's the true boss though, because the game actually goes through a reset. So consider this like your Hand of the King, with more along the way at some point, because this is early access title. Ooh. No more sign of Agent Flage. Justice will be served. Yes, go on and cry about it. That sure helps your ridiculous vindictiveness. We have dash duration, which is really nice. Wow, I dashed into it twice. He has dash duration copium. I can't wait to deal 0 damage to the boss. That's the best part. 632 with the crit. I'll take that. Honestly, the chance of me dying is extremely slim. Wow. Shouldn't have said anything. You stabbed at me. You can't do that. Chance of death extremely slim, he says. Dude, that dodge was sick. Was that the 0 damage just now? That move, this move has always sucked. I actually haven't used a health pot, by the way. I'm only ever using my vampirism, which is like, it's busted. But I assume that there's some like far out anti-synergy. You have no honor, says the bozo trying to turn my employees against me. Just great. I'll give you the Medal of the Sepulchral and Grotesque Order right away. I love how it's actually poison. Cute boss? Yeah, this is actually one of my favorites. Honestly, I like every single boss in this game. And I've played through the game a little bit. I know how to fight all the bosses. We're just waiting on the boss cells, the heat system, that sort of deal. We have one boss cell so far, which is increased boss difficulty. And I want to say that this should give us access to another one. This is the currency that you get. You get some just by picking it up. You get others based off of what you do, the choices you make. Like how many times you heal yourself, how many times you do rages. Just pressing buttons. You get rewarded for pressing buttons. Oh, but that's a run. But we only saw a little bit of the new content. Just a smidge. There's a whole new biome that we need to see. Boss. All the staplers from industrial pollution are spotless. There's not a single trace of oil left on them. Good job, buddy. Okay, so... increase the maximum number of executable contracts to 2. I don't think that's the boss cells, basically. There's a bunch of new stuff, though. We got Frost Breeze. Frost Toxic. Wish Storm. Clear Crisis 10? So, yeah, Clear Crisis 5. Those are the boss cells, in that case. So if we go over here... Crisis 1, we still only have... oh, we now have Crisis 2. Mini bosses do more damage and have more HP. Oh, and it turned it from a little sticky note to like a photocopier image? Alright. Bees. Great for the environment, but very, very annoying. Any other cheapies? Daggust. You will be blown away by their awesomeness. Nice. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to speed run to get to the new content. It's under 7 minutes, so we might have to skip some stuff. Get a reroll. Get a weapon. Complete World 1 without taking damage, get 50 bucks. I think I'd rather have the weapon. Oh, I can choose 2 things. We can lose mana to get 15 HP, or we can lose even more mana to get even more HP. Sign it. Signed, sealed, approved. Let me in. I have no idea what we got. We have 2 somethings. I think one is the bomb. I don't know what the other one is though. Shockwave. A good way of getting rid of those pesky minions and any dust. And Poison Mist, a curse inspired by a recurring phenomenon in crowded elevators. Good thing you filled out everything I asked you to, Pump. So the company's insurance policy can cover your hearing problems. Still, I hope that Mr. CEO can calm the major down. All these bombs are a pain, especially when they go on and on. Yes, your pink shirt looks amazing, Goyi. She can't hear because of the fireworks. It's 5 minutes or less. Yeah, we'll skip stuff, I guess. Again, I feel like it's... Not that I have a real issue with speedrunning or anything like that. I just don't know if speedrun to get to a whole biome is the way I would go about it. If that makes any sense. It's like, what's the value of me skipping most of the first floor? It's like money. Maybe prisms. A lot of currency that we'd probably be missing out on. And then you're gonna get to biome 2. Oh wow, my mana sucks. You're gonna get to biome 2 with basically no money. We're gonna try our best to, you know, keep a move on, don't stall. Termination gives you 40% mana regen. And also a curse. No curse. So now every time we get a kill, we have faster mana regen. Oh yeah, that's much faster. Okay. Try to get rid of the poison cloud. So I don't want to stall too much on the basic enemies. And if we can find free biomes, we should take them whenever we can. Though I already feel like I've... Oh wow, that backdrop's really cool. I feel like I've lost a lot of time already. That's the Dagus. Can I swap my gear? Yes. Alright, alright, alright. I think Dagus is legit. Retaliate. So every time I get hit, I launch stuff. Gain transfer. Bonus damage after a dash. That's kind of cool. It might only apply to my scythe. Oh, the bees. Is that better than Shockwave? Maybe as a boss killer? Probably take the money. Yeah, so we're already 3 minutes in. Maybe it's just permanently unlocked by doing the speed run. Yeah, I don't think I can fight anything. And obviously we just have to go as fast as possible here. Wait, what's that bee doing? Starry Halo, I have no idea what this is. Same mana cost. Ooh, it's kind of cool. I don't think I can do a Thanager either. Mega Man vibes on that weapon. Yo, Berserk Boy actually looked really good. That's another waiting room game. Speed run. All right, bees. Massive swarm. Okay, that's HP. Free biome, but we're already at 445. So we're gonna fight Brad. And that's gonna take more time than we could really deal with. Healing. Plus 15 mana. Wow, that area took time too. You don't even get a pause in the shop. There's no way. You. I don't know if this counts towards our timer. Of course, I don't want to eat free damage. Oh, I can do a lot of bees. All right, there we go. I swear, boss, blah, blah, blah. All right, so if we don't have it, that means we can't hit a single monster. You just have to move and pick every free biome if possible. Spells deal more damage. So these are spells because they use mana, unlike the last build where those were cloaks, which are just on a cooldown. Has to be less than 6 for sure. Okay, we got it. 554. That's scary. I'm hoping it's a permanent unlock, because I don't know if this is gonna happen very often, getting to this map for most people. Not to say that people can't do it, it's more so what they want to. Waldo Burger. Mark Wahlberg Burger. Oh my god. Do those come back? The kid like floating in the sky. Yo, foolish. T1 7th month. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good Saturday. Hopefully it's Saturday where you are. Wait. Yeah, right now we're playing Have a Nice Death, which we have not played since their last update. We're in the brand new biome. This is new tech. I was not in the game prior. Oh my god. The border. Border can fly. Did it heal itself for 1,000? That looked kind of weird. Wait, there's actual platforming? So this is new, for sure. Which I kind of appreciate. Because honestly, the maps are beautiful. So this just gives you a chance to admire it. Especially after just doing a speed run to get here. Oh my god. That was a secret door, but I couldn't get in it anyway. I don't know how I feel about the build so far. We need curses. Oh, hello. Hey boss, just want to let you I didn't get around to inspecting the offices in section A10 PE. Ooh, I think they finally took the suggestion. Please don't move on the text until I'm ready. My left shoe fell into a vat of melted cheddar. Be pleasure. And hopping through the toxic food processing department would have been the weight of ridicule. In short, the results of the inspection are that everything Waldo is working on is more likely to make you want to throw up than die. That's everything from me. Think I've earned a little break with a very, very strong coffee. Yeah, so again, the whole point is that the Danagers are killing too many people. So this is fast food department. Or the idea is that fast food department must be killing people, right? But looks like maybe it ain't all that bad. Just really gross. Well, I like the music here. Oh my god, you actually had an item. I do like the little lacerator I have. Yeah, just call bees. I am not trying to fight this stuff. Oh, I got hit by something. Oh my god. Yo, that's Master Shake. Master Shake is actually kind of sick. Jeez, I healed for nothing. Alright, as you can see, this run is already like so much different than the last one. Oh, I got slowed. Alright, give me something. Down bad, chat. I need help. Like, the bees are cool, but I don't know if they're gonna really carry us through. Do we know anything about this map? No, not yet. We might have to beat the map to learn more about it. Bees, they're faster. Sure. And then Starry Halo doesn't get anything. Please be faster. Manager's office, P. Gorski. P. Gorski. I wonder what that would be a reference to. You kind of have to do these every single time they come up as new. Because they actually lead to unlocks, blueprints, basically. Master Shake. Almost as bad as the nurses on the other map. Scam area. Oh, it's if I kill the bubble while I'm next to it, I think it applies a slow. Oh, they die and explode around them. It's like, what else is gonna happen? Oh my god, this is horrifying. It's like a Ninja Turtle. It's Donatello. Dang, I didn't dodge that at all. Ooh. I don't think the bees had it. I took too much damage and I couldn't keep the monster where I wanted it. That was kind of tough. And I want to say that is buffed by BC2. So it has more HP and it deals more damage. Alright, it takes 6 minutes to get there. Yeah, so that was Sorrow damage up, Sorrow HP up. Only 25%, which like isn't a ton. Good deal. Wait, I get 5 rerolls? I think we want the weapon though, because we have to skip. Kill 10 enemies in under 30 seconds. Get whatever this is. I don't know what this is. Okay. So we got ourselves the magic bow that we just used. I don't think there's any mechanics to it. I think you just press the button and let it fly. I can't talk to you all. Please? That's not an enemy? I got it. At least I think that's me getting it. Okay, now we have to skip everything. Really? So the contracts are kind of cool. And being able to take multiple at a time. I think the max is 3. Right now we can take 2. I'm sure stuff is only gonna get harder. Okay, that is not how I thought that would work. But you know what? It's fine. Okay, can't fight. So we're on a timer right now. Boomerang Hex? All we know is that we have to get to the other point as soon as possible. If Boomerang hits multiple times, Infused Bleed is kinda sick. All right. Trying to think what's the fastest route. We're already a minute 42 in, and I still have to beat the boss too. I love the little escalator there with all the souls. Oh, that's a spell? See what the ulti looks like? Ah, okay. It's definitely a cool idea. Whirl Dagger. Applies poison? Sure. So now we have another skill. Almost like the other build that we had. Can't do the mini boss. Yeah, so today's plan, I was going to do speedrunning in Dead Cells, but we ended up doing the alpha content, which is interesting to think about that, like, the plans for the day could get changed based on the fact that Motion Twin does an update. That wasn't that bad. But it's interesting to see how, like, games that do updates all the time, even from a speedrunner standpoint, like, now you have to consider that your speedrun, not that it's invalidated, but soon you will have to do a new run on the current patch. And I always wonder how speedrunners feel about that. I'd not say that your hard-earned work went to waste, but I guess that's a good thing, because now you get to play the game more often. But having to go back and reroute and all that stuff, I'm sure it's a lot of work too. Oh my god, I actually bugged out for a second. There we go. Much better time than we were doing with the bees. Aerial attacks give 35% more damage. I don't know if we're on the timer right now. Pyro Ghost can shoot while jumping. I think that's that thing, really. Oh my god. It kind of hurts. I don't know if that ulti counts as being in the air or not. He is kind of floating. Feel like maybe it should. Oh wow, we're gonna be cutting it close again. We have to beat the boss in under a minute. $509, wow. So we know for a fact that over 7 is not enough. I also don't know if cutscenes count. Trying to get the damage up. Like, stuff like this, I can't really do anything about. I was gonna say the infusion's doing well. I don't know if we got it. Might not be enough. The timer's going during all of this. Probably need an on-screen timer. Frenzy automatically when you're low. Kinda scary. You have to automatically get the food in the refrigerator. $6.13. Okay, so it looks like it's paused here at least, which is nice. Let's see if we don't die again. Have a nice game, V. Thank you, calendar. We just need to beat this one biome and then I'll be happy. I'll be fully content with myself. I got slowed again. What did I get? Aerial attacks deal 35% damage. I do almost feel like my bow does 40 damage in the air no matter what. So 60. Oh my god. Holy crap, what is this? There was definitely nothing in the game like this before. Oh no, it's a dead end, really? Why is this a dead end? Gotta kill this. Yeah, that still does 60. Yeah, Master Shake is the issue, to be perfectly honest. And just like with any other roguelike, like, you learn how to deal with certain monsters. Applies poison. I do like having the range. Let's try this. It's a pretty big weapon, okay. Burger. Candace. Candace the Cupcake? It's kind of interesting for her to be here. Ooh, I saw that. All right, this is top right corner. All right, sensor gear is scythe only. You could be right. Unfortunately, I can't click into it, but I was hoping it was both scythe and skill. Because then that'd be really good for this particular weapon. It is Candace. Interesting, they put her here. I wonder if they made her weaker to compensate, because you find her earlier. Oh my god, the fake outs. She got me. Close. Oh my god. I love how she just stands there. Wait, this sword's sick. I feel like I should use this more often. Oh, we got the pot, so we can actually go backward. 25% chance of doing backstab. Bonus damage from the back. Each steal gives you pure HP. Sure. Petrols do more damage. I can actually take that because I think the map is no longer accessible. I think we've already passed the map that has these. Let's back it up. Yeah, it's right here. And this should give me HP. I'm at 130. Oh, I healed. Okay. Dragenor. Yeah, I actually really like this weapon. It like jumps you forward. And it's like really nice in the air because you get air stall. Should backpack the other thing. Alright, maybe we'll get a world record clear on this map. Wait, more? The cooldown on this broadsword thing's really short. 0.8? I feel like that can't be normal. Like, it's kind of spammable. I think as soon as I press the button and I land, it's already back up. No. But it's still pretty fast. Maybe because it's blue. Temporarily gain plus 5 HP with each kill. Wow. That's new tech. More HP? We'll vault it up. Yeah, I need to come up with like a full laundry list of these kind of games. And like every time they have an update. So I have a calendar as brand new stuff. I've never had a calendar for the stream before. I filled out July as best as I could. So I almost feel like this is now, oh god, gonna be the meta. Is that whenever these kind of games get an update, we're gonna take a look. Crap, I need that. Which was the goal all along. Okay, I guess you live. Even the aerial is really good. I had no idea what that does. Oh my god. What difficulty is this? This is difficulty 2. Which has a name. But mini bosses, damage taken and damage... No, HP and damage dealt is increased. And then bosses, I think, also have the same thing. We don't take that. But yeah, I think right now it goes up to 10. And I definitely would not mind seeing like the full difficulty. Like fully scaled up. Gotta get more Prismium. I guess this is gonna be a broadsword build. I don't know any reason why not to spam broadsword here. Like that, and you can cancel it? This music reminds me of Final Fantasy XIV for some reason. Not this part. Oh my god, okay, so we can't broadsword those. But the part before was almost like a crystal tower or something. Ooh. That could've been bad. Hooray! Oh my god! I didn't know it does that. I knew it falls, but I didn't think it does damage. Freaking kid! I should kill that. I don't know if that's the intended way to get through this, is to do up attack. There's no double jump in this game. But the upward attack kind of simulates that. Really nice. Or at least as of right now, I am unaware of double jump. That's so good. Alright. Getting closer to the boss. I'm feeling good about myself. You have a decent amount of max HP. Get rid of this. Alright, so more Prismium. Pure heal for 15. Get 2 health flask. Plus 15 mana, that's bad. I guess we'll just take the 2 health flask. Kind of weird, it cost me a Prismium to do that. I feel like that's not good. Waldo! Waldo Burger, that's what it is. And maybe this gives us the insight for the map too. Yeah. Alright, Toxic Food Processing Department. The Toxic Food Processing Department is a rather particular addition to the Death Inc. infrastructure. It's a conglomerate of machinery, conveyor belts, and large vats filled with just about anything that can be melted down or cooked to make even the most noxious snack look appetizing. The whole factory was built according to a blueprint design in the 60s, and it was the Waldo Burger brand, very first manufacturing firm. The main advantage of being a large corporation is that we can copy absolutely everything we buy, since it now belongs to us anyway. And in the end, the only people who care are those who didn't even like the company to start with. Do this little heal. This is a new boss that we've never seen. 11 million deaths a year. That's what I call a career. Palapapapa? What is that supposed to be? You're the one who brought it up. Great, let's save time. Waldo, stop what you're doing, both the singing and the overproduction. So again, the whole goal is that Death wants these people to stop overkilling, because there's too many souls being sent to the underworld. Let's wait and see, Mr. President. My very last modifications. What? Oh my god. I haven't been spoiled on this boss at all. Okay. That didn't look like it did a ton of damage, not gonna lie. He's actually like talking. Oh wow, I meant to stay in the air. Phase 2. Gotta remember there's no contact damage in this game. Wait, this is like kind of sick. Oh my god. I think I'm better off doing my dagger ulti there. Oh my god, that's so graphic. Is that it? I must admit, I was expecting something a bit snazzier from all this futuristic kit. Ba ba ba, you're loving it at Waldo Burger. It was truly a marvelous idea to put the lunatics and the poorly conceived robots in charge of all the departments. Not at all. It's so graphic. Alright. That really hurt, by the way. Okay, so gain +2 additional weapon charges. Is that really necessary? Okay, so Sinister Gear counts as cloak weapon, not just scythe. So I don't quite know why the aerial attacks aren't working on the bow at least, but the bow's gone. I guess worst case scenario, we will never see a crit. Minions gain +10 damage for this level, wow. But I'm leaving the level, so I feel like that's gonna already go away. That was the best boss so far, easily. Yeah, the quality of that one compared to Brad, for example. And I know, like, in these kind of action roguelikes, you don't want your first boss to be something that nobody can get by. Like, it has to be a little bit, not to say a training dummy, but it needs to actually show you the ropes of the game. And I think he does a good job of that. Same as Concierge, same as, well, I guess Astral Ascent's a little difficult, but Skull, the Treant, also a little easier once you understand what's happening. Brad, I feel like is pretty easy, sort of like Concierge level. And then after that, the bosses accelerate, like to the 10th degree. So that one in particular, that was pretty hard compared to, is it Grimes After? I think it's Grimes After. I think it is very, not to say extremely difficult compared to Grimes. Just the saw blades, like we know how to do that dodge from other games, and I would not be surprised if that hits. The people in this company have some weird ideas about interpersonal relationships. Apparently, Mr. Grimes is terrified of Major because, hang on, that's true, but why? And if what I heard is right, the Major is scared of someone else here. maybe of you, boss, since you gave him that hiding. Since you gave him that hiding. I don't know what that might be. This is a French developer, by the way. So we even saw actual French text that wasn't translated yet. Even if he'll never admit it. Though, of course, he's probably the sort of person to jump at his own shadow. Alright, refrigerator. Oh, you can refill the fridge now. That's new tech. For 25 bucks? I think that's fine. Full heal. Lulu's lychees. Sure. Alright, let's dump. Yo, I got 2 health flasks for the price of 1. Hey boss, wait a second. If Brad can't handle the Hall of Eternity's insurance anymore, I could take over. Sitting at a desk for hours? I got this. As for SlimyYy, must be a cushy job, right? No. Oh, we gotta check out, so it's kind of cool that we now have branching paths for biomes. I just don't know how I feel about speed running for the ulti path for the first map. We want enemies. Okay, Waldo, head of Toxic Food Processing Department. With the resounding success of Veracity Curses, the concept of starving to death has come back into style, declaring a new millennium of horrors to decimate the living. Always at the forefront of innovation, Death is turning the problem on its head by taking inspiration from the 20th century food processing revolution. The fast food chain Waldo Burger made its fortune by offering cheap sandwiches made of fat, sugar, and salt, and scented with delicious chemical aroma that deaden all manner of reason. Interesting. That definitely does not happen. Death later took the soul of a young employee who was fortunately trapped in a walk-in freezer in a Waldo's next to a highway. He wasn't especially astonished or even put off by discovering the company. The goals were more or less the same: production, and reproduction after that. Oops. Wow. Yeah, they have some really good text blurbs. Upgrade green, upgrade red. We have no green so far. Well, I don't think it upgrades your green that you currently have. I think it gives you better green options. The red is good. Green is often like mana, but sometimes it's game-breaking stuff like YOLO, where you can revive for 1 time after death. I think there might be stuff that's health potion related too. It's kind of nice. Yeah, I got a crit just then on my site. That's a 5% crit? Are you kidding me? Okay, that was a crit on my broadsword, so I think that means it's functional. Boom! Nice! What game is this? It's slick as hell. This is Have a Nice Death. Exclamation point have death in the chat. This is one to look out for. Absolutely. Oh my god. Top 5 games that VeeDotMe is looking out for. This is one of them. Yeah, so the only issue about Broadsword is I'm extremely vulnerable while I'm casting it. Crap. Oh my god, I didn't even hit. Okay, gotta be careful with Jack in the Box. I thought that was a threat. Oh, exclamation point have death, you mean? I mean, I would have made it exclamation point hand, which is what our buddy Halion does. But I feel like exclamation point hand is also weird. It's a hard acronym. Like, no matter which one you do. Let's try this. See if we can get a dub off the burger. The Waldo burger. Dang. I was hoping it would use my yellow first. I guess you have no control over it. Yeah, I almost don't need to use my scythe anymore. Like, every attack should either be L2 or R2. If you all see me do basic scythe, assume I'm trolling. Except there. Like, they're a little too high up in the sky. Oh my god. That hurt. Okay. Yeah, we gotta increase our sight damage. Not sight damage. Whatever the broadsword is. Cloak, I believe. Oh my god, it's just a jack-in-the-boxes. This has to die. Like, they're so scary. Oh my god! This might be a rip run incoming. The jack-in-the-boxes were always the issue on this map. Jeez. How's life going? Actually pretty well. It's a little warm here. And we always... I was gonna say I might be dead. We always feel bad for the kitties if it's like super warm. But otherwise, everything's going great. We were able to get through a lot of Dead Cell stuff thanks to a new update going on over there. We have this new game. We just went through Cuphead too. That might be a throw going to the Thanager. You're actually touching grass. And it's rainy as heck. I would not mind rain right now. Honestly, I probably have to water the grass today. I know you all might say, V, that sounds like a complete waste of water, but hear me out. My lawn is like completely brown right now, and it used to be the greenest on the block. And you all know I am a little competitive. Oh wow, you actually die up there. Oh my god, I dashed, and the punch was on the left side of the box instead of the right side. It actually predicted me going behind it. Kinda bad. So now, we've gone through the burger joint. I don't know if that gives us permanent access to the burger area now, but I actually really liked what I saw. Let me see if I have some new unlocks, specifically because we got there. So there is... Oh wow, I can get more contracts. That's kind of sick. L. Heisenberg. Okay, so P. Gyorsk gives us access to Frost Toxic. But we don't see one for Waldo. Is interesting. Either way, this is early access. They've been adding new stuff, good stuff, every single update. So I assume when they come out with more, we'll have some really good things to look forward to. New foods. So right now, Crisis 2 mini boss buffed up. I won't say it's necessarily the hardest one. We can obviously skip mini bosses if we really want to. It's just a matter of if your build is already that good as you're going into it. For now though, I want to say we are good to go on Have a Nice Death. Again, humongous update. I actually really like everything I see. I was complaining about difficulty earlier and I died 2 times. I mean, what I mean by complaining about difficulty, I meant saying that things are a little too easy sometimes, a little too many health flasks. I almost couldn't die in my last run, and in the last win, in the last 2 runs, I get hurt a lot. So you could tell that the roguelike element to the game definitely makes a big difference on understanding like how easily you can get through it. You like a little bit more color to the game, it looks a little muted. So I think maps like the burger map and maps like the infectious diseases map, where it has those elements in the background of reds, oranges, stuff like that, I think that's really good aesthetic. This entry area is, as you said, it's the one color. The first biome is like this, I want to say pollution, might be a little similar. And then addictions is a little similar as well. Not totally, because there's a lot of red on that map. Modern Warfare has a lot of red on it. So like that map, the burger map, and then infectious disease probably look the best. But I can see it's a design choice. As a matter of fact, on the 20th, I think, where's my calendar? On the 20th, we're gonna be playing, 25th. 26th, actually. I have to check the calendar. Eyes in the Dark. The Story, The Curious Case of One Victoria Bloom, is an action roguelite that is completely in black and white. Like, not a single color in the entire game. So it's really interesting that people have this creative exploration when it comes to the genre, where typically you only see like Dead Cells, Skull, Into the Gungeon, all that stuff with tons of color, tons of environment, but maybe not as detailed as all of this that you see here. So yeah, really interesting thoughts. For now though, I want to say I'm good. Today is Saturday, so we have a long week ahead of us of streaming. Monday stream, take a look at the calendar again. Monday we have a Dead Cells viewer build, which is Bloodshot Malaise. And then that slot's open. We might put Have a Nice Death as the secondary game. That way we can keep going through these new difficulties. Tuesday, Neon Blight. I don't know if I'm gonna play it for sure, because when I was looking at Neon Blight, it didn't look super well polished. And that happens. Very first release of some of these games, you gotta understand that, especially for small devs, maybe it's not entirely ready to go to alpha. Maybe. but at least it gives you a nice play test of what they intend to do with the game. But the Wednesday stream, the 13th, that's Loopmancer. Loopmancer honestly looks kinda good, like surprisingly good. So much so, I'm really excited to try it. And there might be like a small event going on for that. But really the other big thing is Saturday. Saturday we have a 12-hour stream planned. The occasion is like 4 years on Twitch. We haven't been partnered for the entire 4 years, but we've been kind of streaming in sort of a, what I want to say, professional manner in the last 4 years. So I want to give back to you all a little bit. A lot of people had cool ideas. Bring back the Guitar Hero controller. Let's try Curse Sword Run, chat integration. I have other games I want to do. I want to set up the VR. I have roguelike VR games that I would not mind showcasing in that kind of event. And then other stuff that I'm going to try to go over throughout the week, and I'll give you all some insight during each stream of what I come up with. But it should be really exciting. It's my first time doing something like that, and hopefully not the last time. For now though, we're going to be ending it here. It's just about, honestly, should be lunchtime because I skipped lunch, but gonna eat, gonna have a drink, maybe work on Little Noah or something. Not quite sure what I'm gonna do as far as games go, but I hope you all had a good clean stream today. Thank you for all the bits, the follows, the subs, everything under the sun. If you want to keep up, we are on socials. I'm on Twitter, Discord, TikTok. You can also, watch the YouTube. We have all kinds of stuff up right now, as well as the new VODs channel. If you ever miss anything, hopefully it's up there. Always feel free to let me know if something's missing. I can try to put it up. Either way, I want you all to have a good night, good day, good evening, good whatever, wherever you are. And I'll see you on the Monday stream. Have a good one, everybody.